mathematicians! Today we're going to talk about multiples and something called LCM, least common multiples. Okay, well, to know what a least common multiple is, first we have to start with what's a multiple. A multiple is the product of a given number and another whole number. Okay, well, I know product means the answer to a multiplication problem. Of a given number, I'm going to give you a number, 3, and another whole number. Okay, so here's how I write it. I'm going to say, okay, Miss Douglas, you want me to find multiples of 3? Here's my 3. And to show you that I'm going to start making a list, whoops, that's not where I meant to write. I'm going to put a colon. That's that dot symbol. That means, okay, on this side, that 3 is just like the title of the list. And then after the colon, the dot, that's where my list of answers is going to start. So to write multiples of 3, I'm going to write the product, the answer, to problems where I multiply times 3. Usually I just start at 1 and keep on going. 3 times 1 is 3, so I'm going to write 3. That's a multiple of 3. I'm going to put a comma because I'm making a list here. 3 times 2 is 6, comma. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. Notice I am not actually writing 3 times 5. I'm only writing the answers. I only want the answers. Those are the multiples, not the actual problem. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 7 is, I was about to say 19. That's not right. 3 times 7 is 21. This list is never going to stop because I could always keep multiplying it times a bigger number. So when you feel like you've got a good list, sometimes I'll tell you how many I want, or sometimes you just need to start with your list and put like 5 or 6 down. And then maybe we'll add to it, but maybe we won't. To show that the list goes on and on and on, we're going to put something called an ellipse, which is a dot, dot, dot. You might have seen that in English class. It's like, and on and on and on and on. So these are multiples of 3. Multiples of 22. Maybe we don't know our 22's tables as well as we know our 3's tables. So here's a quick strategy. If I say, please write 4 multiples of this number, they don't have to be the times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. They can be any multiples. So let's put our colon to start our list. When I'm asked to list 3 or 4 multiples of a certain number, and it's just one number, I'm not dealing with least common multiples, I usually go, okay, 22 times 1, that's 22. 22 times 10, that's 220. 22 times 100, that's 2,200. 22 times 1,000. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. There are my 4 multiples. So you don't always have to go in order of times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4 if the only question is, please tell me some multiples. However, when we have a least common multiple, it's better to go times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4. And again, this list could go on and on and on. I could end it with a, oh, it's so hard for me to see my pen. Where is it? End it with a dot, 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 and ellipse, because there are an infinite number of multiples. Infinite is like infinity, never ending. You could spend the rest of your life listing multiples of 22. And since we don't want to do that, that's why we put dot, dot, dot. Okay, multiples. Not too bad, right? Now let's talk about a least common multiple. Well, first let's start with just what is common. Common means like, if you think about what do you and your friend have in common, you probably have some shared interests. These two numbers, 4 and 12, I bet they're going to have some common multiples. To find that out, we're going to list our multiples of 4. Start with your colon to show you're starting a list. Now, when I'm trying to find common multiples, I do want to do the times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, because that's probably going to be the easiest way for me to find them. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. Notice I'm still separating these numbers with a comma to show a list because I don't want to accidentally think that that number is 4,812. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 10 is 40. I'm going to keep going a little bit to make my point. Usually I'd probably stop around times 10 and see what I can find. I'm going to go up till times 12. 44, 4 times 12 is 48, and because that list could keep going forever. Now let's make a list of 12s, because when we're finding common multiples, that means that we have to have at least 2 numbers that we're looking in between to find things that they have in common. I'll do this one faster. 12, 24, 36, 48, what comes after 48, 50, 60, 72, 84, ... I didn't make that one as long because I know what point I'm trying to make here. Okay, so common multiples are multiples that appear in both lists. They're numbers that you see in both of these lists. Let me change colors. Okay, so in this list I see 12 here and 12 there. I see 24 here and 24 there. I see 36 here and 36 right here. I see 48, this is why I wanted to go all the way up to that times 12 for the 4s, and 48, and if I kept this list going, you can kind of see a pattern here. I bet the next number wouldn't work. I bet the number after that wouldn't work, but I bet that third number probably would. 4 times 3, doesn't that equal 12? Oh, yeah. Okay, so these are common multiples. They are numbers that appear in both lists. What we're really focusing on is something called least common multiples, or for short, LCMs. Least means smallest, so a least common multiple is the smallest multiple that shows up in both lists. So if I were to ask you for the least common multiple between 4 and 12, well, the smallest number is 12. Now let's not be confused by this 4 right here. That's the smallest number in one list, but 4 isn't in the list for 12s. So the smallest common multiple that I've circled in both lists is the number 12. So I would say that the LCM of 4 and 12, oh, look at my beautiful handwriting, is 12. And that's how you find the least common multiple.